Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Bauchner. I'm a partner with the law firm of Mandelbaum, Barrett, where I chair the Cannabis, Hemp, and Psychedelics practice.
And I'm Chris Zona. I'm a partner in our litigation and white-collar criminal defense groups here at Mandelbaum, and we wanted to come to you today to talk a little bit about a new development in New Jersey. And Josh is one of the premier legal minds on cannabis and psychedelics across the country, but especially here in the tri-state region. And Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about the law that I guess New Jersey legislators are trying to push through relating to field sobriety tests and drivers?
Sure, thanks, Chris. So the new bill proposes that anyone who is operating a motor vehicle on New Jersey's roads automatically consents to a blood test, much like if you appear to be under the influence of alcohol. And the standard in the blood test is 3 nanograms of delta-9 THC per milliliter of blood, which is obviously a very small concentration. And the concern here is that unlike a blood alcohol standard, which is uniformly 0.8, it is impossible to determine impairment from a blood test for cannabis because THC can remain in your system for up to a month. So you can get pulled over, be forced to consent to this blood test, and it can show that you have more than 3 nanograms of THC in your system because you smoked a joint a month ago.
Now, Jeff, how is that going to affect, now that New Jersey is allowing recreational use and medicinal use of marijuana? How does that affect individuals who, may partake in that and, you may be driving? How does that affect their ability to actually protect themselves on the roads in the state of New Jersey?
Well, it's an unfortunate consequence of legalizing cannabis is that the state did so in the hopes of, among other things, generating tax revenue. And now it's basically seeking to criminalize this newly legal behavior. Again, when we use the analogy of blood alcohol, everyone knows, right? I think you're taught it in your high school health class, right? You're allowed 1 16-ounce beer, 1 4-ounce shot, or 1 8-ounce glass of wine in an hour. And regardless of your size, your metabolism, or whatever, that's the standard, 0.8. You blow more than that, you're in trouble. Cannabis doesn't work that way. So there's no way to tell people you can take 1 5 milliliter gummy, smoke 1 joint, take X amount of tincture, and you're going to be high. And more importantly, impaired on the state's roads. So there's no way to really be fair with the citizenry of the state in allowing them and providing them notice of what they can and cannot do. And the science is clear on this fact. Every scientific study that has attested whether you can determine impairment from cannabis through blood work has found you cannot. And these are studies from Journal of American Medical Association, National Institutes of Health, Johns Hopkins. The science is there to show this legislation is wrong.
Now, Josh, now what are you doing? So what are we doing to kind of combat this or to help the legislature understand some of what appear to be an attempt to analogize this to alcohol when, the two substances are just not the same?
So this legislation was introduced as recently as last week. We're doing many things. Obviously, we're having this type of conversation. We're reaching out to a number of other publications to promote this concern. We also work with the New Jersey State Bar Association. I'm an immediate past co-chair of the Cannabis Law Committee there, and we're going to try to connect with the legislature, with the folks in Trenton, to have a conversation with them, to let them know where the problems are with this proposed bill, and to try to work with them to develop a better model that's fair and frankly protects the citizenry's due process rights with respect to these alleged violations. There is, to date, no standardized adopted roadside sobriety test for cannabis, period, full stop. There is no science that allows for blood testing to be used to test for cannabis, period, full stop. There are some companies out there that are developing some technologies which are terrific. Druid is among them, but law enforcement and the courts haven't adopted it yet. So we're going to have to work and try to figure out a path forward that protects the roads, but also protects citizens' rights.
So obviously, if you've been watching, Josh is always spot on with his advice in this regard. And as you heard, education here may actually help us all be safer, but also help all of our rights be preserved, which is always something that we're interested in. And also, if you're out there and you run into a situation in which you may be stopped or encounter a field sobriety situation that relates to this or any psychedelic or other substance, then we're always here to help and to hopefully assist you in not only protecting your rights, but make sure that justice is served. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.